So
Okay.
Bruce, we're going to do a run through of all of them.
Yeah, we'll run through them all so everybody can look at them. We'll talk about the title. So I will read the project name. I will read comments that they put in there. And then,
So, Bruce, can you refresh everybody as to how they should view this in the voting criteria?
so we're not judging individual images. You're just voting by project. And you'll hear you'll have the project name and then you'll kind of hear what their goal was, if you will, to vote for whether or not the images represent the project that they were trying to do or, however you feel about it. But yeah, don't vote. You're not voting for this is the best image here and this is the best image there. You're voting on the total project and if it conveyed the message and or what the project was and if it did what a project should be. And same scoring. What is it? 5 to 10. I guess any other questions on that? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We're just not voting by picture. We're voting by group of pictures.
Okay, so I'm ready to share my screen. Okay, we'll get started. Our first one is called Chair Study.
And the comments for the goal is to show in contrast a simple chair in various impressive settings.
So this is the first picture. All right, the next one is called Common Ground.
And it says gardens are universal spaces with flowers and trees designated for public use. A garden's value is as varied as the people who visit it. My images attempt to convey some of the reasons people seek out gardens. It's getting your hands in the door to spending quiet time alone or with friends, being playful. Perhaps it's using any of your senses to inspire creativity. Lastly, it's breathing room in a city.
Okay, the next one is called Naughty Trees Watching You.
And the comments was, I always noticed the knots on trees and I thought it would be fun to add eyes to the knots.
The next project is Solstice Quad.
And the comments were pace of urban growth.
Next one is called Vacation Textures.
And that comment was capture and use texture in vacation photos. This is called main event. Okay, of course it's not gonna.
This is an advance category. It's called A Day in the Life of a Balloon.
It says, I wanted to do an amusing project and trying to give an inanimate object some personality.
Okay, the next one is called Highline Canal Trail.
Spreading the word about the best trail in town.
Okay, the next one is called Kitchen Items, Kitchen Project.
The comments were limited subject matter and work with various off-camera lighting.
Okay, the next one is New York City in the Clouds.
That one's using atmospheric clouds to embrace iconic landmark buildings and bridges in New York, NYC. The clouds set the mood and offer a creative look at the city.
Next project is called Wildflower Images.
I was selected to be a photography instructor for the Crested Butte Wildflower Festival, so I practiced with local wildflowers prior to the event.
Okay, the next category is the pro category. And this one's called Blue Hour.
To showcase iconic buildings and structures that are lit up in the Denver area during Blue Hour. These images show the unusual exposure balance between the foreground building lights and the ambient light of the blue sky.
So after everyone has submitted their vote, we'll go through these and have each of the makers talk about their project while the votes are being tallied. All right, let's get started with this. Our first one is called Chair Study, and it's by Jeff Scott. And Jeff, could you talk to us about your project?
This was a fun project for me. I had the idea of taking a common object, which is a red chair, and trying to put it in an interesting and place and give it sort of the common thread throughout her in the mountains, and one image from paint mines. This is in the Tuscany building in the Tech Center. This is in Cherry Creek. No, not Cherry Creek. This one is at Golden Gate Canyon State Park. That was the fairy slipper orchid, which is a very rare wildflower. This is paint mines. If you look at the cloud, I call this the Abe Lincoln photo. There's sort of like Abe peering down from the door. That is the next one is on the shore of Lake Dillon. That's on the shore of Lake Dillon. And that, interestingly, that was Cherry Creek State Park. Cherry Creek running rather full through the middle of Cherry Creek State Park. That's downtown Denver at, I don't know, 6 a.m., I think. 17th and Broadway. The Brown Palace is to the right. Can't quite see it.
It's just to the right, isn't it?
And that's Fort Logan National Cemetery. I thought it would be nice to conclude this with some flowers in memory of the deceased.
Thank you, Jeff. The next one is Kathy Bala. It's Common Grounds. Kathy.
Hi, yes. I was trying to figure out kind of what to do, and I was taking a trip to England and going to see some specific gardens. So I just expanded that to really thinking about the value of gardens. And originally, when I put this together, I thought we could do titles, and I thought the titles really helped convey the varied interest, the value of gardens to so many different people. And I decided that gardens really are taken for granted, and yet it's for the public. They're used all the time and for a variety of reasons. So this title was Hands On with Nature. And this was the gardener at Sissinghurst Gardens in England. This one I called Sharing Quiet Moments. And I think it's self-explanatory that, they're talking, they're being together, surrounded by flowers and nature and outside. And it just lended itself to, their time together. This one I had titled resting in peace now and forever. And what I thought was somewhat humorous is that those are obviously tombstones, and you have the gentleman sitting on this probably very, very ancient tombstone, and yet it's a relaxed atmosphere. People were having a picnic. So again, it's using the space, sharing that space together for whatever your personal reasons are. And taking advantage of what's available in the park, like sitting on the tombstone. This one I had called Nature is Uplifting. And it was just walking through Kensington Park or gardens, and people just doing various activities. And there's this guy doing a handstand, just being playful. And I think we often think of parks as being a place to reflect and contemplate. And here's an older gentleman, I think, doing that very thing and using the nature, the flowers as a way to, settle in and do his thinking. This was out at Hudson Gardens, and it's a statue, and I titled it Reading to a Friend. This was the sensory garden in Leamington Spa in England. So the garden itself has many different plants. So it's really using your various senses, touching, smelling, seeing, those sorts of things. And I found myself that it's a way to be inspired, be creative, and just really look closely at what's in front of you. And the last one is called Breathing Room in the City. And that's where parks and gardens are so valuable. That's actually the skyline of London. It's overlooking Kensington Gardens and Hyde Park. And here you have this wonderful green space to have fresh air, to run around, to do what you want. So I just thought it's demonstrating, what we look for as we move about in our spaces.
Very good. Thank you. Next one is Naughty Trees Watching. This is by Carolyn Ryman. The next one is Solstice Quad. This one is by Tony Lazzari. Is Tony? I don't see that Tony's with us tonight here.
Let me look. No, he is not on the call. So on to the next one.
Okay. The next one is called Vacation Textures. This is by Ray Johnson. Ray?
Yeah, my goal was to capture and add vacation textures to pictures. So this one was, I had a vacation to Canada. This is the Montreal Biodome. So this is life behind glass, capturing the water splashes on the glass from the puffins. This one I added the lightning, but it's the leap of faith. As we were departing Montreal, I saw this guy leap off of this bungee, and I thought, oh my goodness. So this is in Quebec City. It's through the coach window as we were driving along. It was raining as it did in most of northern Canada. And it just caught the images of the reflections. So this is the textures, the reflections in the coach window. This one is Quebec City again with a storm brewing over the top of it. So the texture was this cloud formation that I formed. I thought was quite amazing. And unfortunately later I was caught in that storm. It was torrential downpour. I can't pronounce the name of this island very well. It's Il Cabu. It's by Baie-Comeau. And it was covered in mist. In fact, on the way there, we couldn't see anything but mist. And so this guy was preparing to do a photograph of his companion, and the mist was just amazing. So it's a picture of the mist there and the monoliths. This is a meat whale that surprised all the birds that were feeding. This was at Baie-Comeau as well. There was a lot of meat whales there. So again, it was just covered in mist. This is St. Anthony. It's at the very top of Newfoundland, up by Greenland. And as you can see, it just rained. We went out to see the icebergs, but they were quite a way out. It's where Iceberg Alley is, so I just caught this at St. Anthony. I called this a pleasant day in St. Anthony. And this is at St. John's. This is Peggy's Cove. And this gentleman was standing there with his umbrella, which is off of the cruise ship, his orange umbrella, looking up at the lighthouse. And it was just pouring with rain in the mist. So I thought, oh wow, it was such a lovely wet holiday. So yeah, another one.
I love the red umbrella.
Oh yeah, it's orange. It's supposed to be orange.
It's orange, okay.
Yeah.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But when he was just standing there in that rain, I thought he was. I was over by the coffee shop, by the door. Yeah, trying to keep the camera wet. Yeah. So that was my goal was to capture textures in the pictures, or as in the one with the bungee jumper, I added the light.
Okay. Thank you.
Here we go. This is called Main Event.
Okay, so I had gone to Maine and I take a lot of bird photos, and a lot of them are close up and portrait-like. And this trip I wanted to embrace the environment and just get a wider lens, kind of look at the world. And this is at Lake Moosehead, and I was in a canoe going around the lake, and this guy popped up. The next day I went to Baxter State Park, search for a moose. This guy showed up. He was so close. It was really exciting to see, and I think she had a calf. I could hear it, but I couldn't see it. This is at Baxter State Park. And this is at Acadia National Park. First thing in the morning, it's just a bog I found just before the entrance into the park. This is inside Acadia National Park, and I can't tell you what the name of this lake is, but it's early morning, trying to capture the whole scene. My main trip was to go and see puffins, and this is a puffin out in the open waters at Machias Island. If you are lucky enough to get a golden ticket and get on to the island, it's a breeding island, but this was one of the puffins that I caught just before we got to the island.
Is it hard to get on the island? Is it something you have to make a reservation for? Or is it a lottery or?
Yeah, it's you get it's an exclusive visit, so you get 15 tickets are sold and 15 people go on the island per day. And if you're lucky enough, 2 hours to get out to the island, and then you get onto this little dinghy to get to the island. But if the water's too rough, you can't get on the island. So pray. That's why I say it's a golden ticket. I mean, you got to pray for good weather. And it took me 3 years to get this ticket.
Oh, wow.
So that's the island. That's the breeding island where the puffins breed. And they have a lighthouse crew and a research crew. And if you see the little brown squares in the horizon, those are little huts that we went into to take the photos of the puffins.
Like blinds?
Yeah, blinds. And it's a very, very diverse seabird colony. I mean, and these are northern gannets and razorbills, and it's a very rocky coast. So they nest on one side of that. We got on the island on the one side, and then we had to walk to the other side to the breeding side. And so it's very rocky and yeah, so very diverse seabird. And there's the puffins. I so wanted to put a really close up, but was trying to keep to the wider lens. But it was really a great experience to go onto that island.
Okay. Now we're in the advanced category, a day in the life of a balloon.
I was bored. I had some balloons. I was in my backyard. No, I was trying to come up with a project, and I didn't have the desire this year to go too far astray. So I thought, I'll do this. And I wanted to practice with some flash and some different techniques. So, started out where you dump him out of the jar. He's awake. He gets woke up. Then you blow him up. It's like, oh, this is cool. And then, wait a minute, what's with this hose and water? And then filled him up with water. Like, oh my God, what's going on? And then the fun part was popping them, of course. And then what happens, and then the remnants.
So how many balloons did you have to use for that?
I sacrificed about 30 balloons.
I thought that was clever, Bruce. That was a good idea. I
Yeah,
like
very,
that.
very,
The story behind it. Yeah.
very creative.
No, thank
So
you.
there were some balloons injured in this filming.
Yes, there were some balloons that were harmed in the making of this story. So don't turn me into, I guess it'd be BETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Balloons.
Okay, the next one is called Highline Canal by Carino.
Yes, this was mine here. This is Denver's fortunate to be covered by numerous hiking and biking trails. And this is one of my favorite because it goes through the center of town. And it's an interesting trail because it was built in about 1890 as a canal. And it's 71 miles, starts from the mouth of Waterton Canyon, goes almost all the way to the airport. But the unique thing about it is when you go through here, there's all these trees that are, these cottonwood trees are over 100 years old. Their trunks are 10 feet around. So you'll walk through places that are like, the canopies touch over the tops. You're like going through a tunnel of trees.
Hey,
Just a beautiful place.
did you tell these girls they shouldn't ride and text?
Yeah, that's funny. That's what I noticed. They were texting and writing at the same time.
I think that's illegal.
But it's so beautiful. And then you see how lush it is. I mean, you barely see any homes back there. It's like you're in the country, but you're in the middle of town. Yeah, it's a nice packed gravel trail, size of a single lane road.
Very
and just
few
beautiful.
homes.
It's packed with homes.
Oh, is it?
There's homes everywhere. You're in the middle of town. You just don't see them.
That's cool.
And then you get back into here where there's, I mean, these gigantic mansions back in there. It's green. There's streams back there. It's beautiful place. Beautiful trail.
So tell us about this one.
Well, this one is the ceramic bird that's in this tree. He's a part of a group. You see that this tree is probably, I don't know, 35 feet tall, and it's covered with probably 30 or 40 of these ceramic birds all the way to the top. So somebody
Really?
had to climb up there and nail these birds to this tree. So that's why this place is also kind of like a magical forest, because you see these strange things in here, like these birds on these trees, these ceramic birds, and then you'll see them throughout the forest. There'll be these different ceramic birds, and then you'll see miniatures. There'll be miniatures throughout this little forest, throughout the trail, but you have to be looking for them. But yeah, it's like a magical forest. It's amazing. And then this is one of the bridges that crosses the many rivers that you go across when you travel down the 71 miles.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
All right. Thank you, Carino.
Get out there and see it.
We'll have to do that. Get on those bikes and do it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Sounds like a club photo walk opportunity.
Yes.
There we go. There we go. All right. The next project here is called Kitchen Items by Bruce Norman.
So, yeah, I wanted to try something with to see if I could come up with some images and use off-camera lighting for all of them. And so learn stuff about the different off-camera lighting and try and find something for you that would be somewhat unique.
I have to ask, what is it?
So this is a butter dish.
Oh,
It's
okay.
and it's sitting on the counter, and it's so it's got a lid. You know, the top is a lid, and then it's reflected. You know, because of the light, it's reflected underneath.
Cool.
So what kind of lighting did you put on this one?
So this is just a small strobe,
To the left?
backlit.
Oh, backlit. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of most of these are backlit. Of course, these are two forks sitting on a plexiglass with a little bit of blue LED
Mm.
and red LED lighting.
You were just forking around, huh?
I kind of forked this one up, but that's the way it went.
Well, wasn't that bad?
So kind of my original thinking, I mean, you start doing one of these projects and it totally goes way in a different direction. The first thing I thought that would be really easy to photograph is a cheese grater. And, you know, put different lights on it and reflections and stuff. And I had a heck of a time. This is a photo of a cheese grater with some LED lights. And then the next one is kind of just more of a close-up on my screen. Yeah. Oh yeah. So anyway, this is still a cheese grater, but this is just one of the holes where you would grate the cheese. And I thought it looked like a rocket engine, kind of the way I lit it.
It does. Yeah. How'd you light this one?
So there's a lit it with kind of the blue kind of up above and behind, and then kind of a red light underneath.
And Bruce,
Okay.
when you say that, you said LED, I think is what you talked about earlier. So you're not
Sure.
using like off-camera flash with gels or colored.
No, these are
Okay.
small. There's a small, flexible LED
Oh, really? Oh,
colored lights.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the next one, this is a tea strainer, in case you didn't know. and using the same two red and blue LED lights, and then I had kind of a white light behind it to shine through the holes.
Did you put it in it?
I just showed, I had to, yeah, so there was, the only way I could do it is I had to take the top off. And so I shown it, that show the white light is coming from up above down into it, yeah.
Okay.
And this is a candy dish that I lit from behind again. And the bottom, so you're looking at the bottom, and then on the outside, that's kind of the rim of it, of the candy dish. But I just love the design of the bottom of it.
Yeah, the glass lit up looks pretty cool.
It does.
Did you have to eat all the candy before you could use the dish?
I just took the dish out of the cupboard. Didn't have candy in it.
Oh,
So this one I turned sideways because it's actually one glass mug that's that I, again, this was with a strobe backlit through to the bottom. You're looking at the bottom, and it's a reflection. So, but I turned it sideways, so it kind of looks like two of them side by side, but it's really one with the reflection.
Oh,
Interesting.
really?
Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
never guessed that. That's
Yeah.
clever.
Would
Yeah.
not have either. Wow.
Wow.
Very nice.
And this is a different candy dish, and the three round things on the bottom are the feet of the dish. And I'm trying to photograph the thing, and I'm propping it up on these, you know, because I'm lighting it from below, and I'm propping it up on these Kleenex boxes. And I notice off to the side that there's a pretty cool reflection, or pretty cool reflection of the colors. These Kleenex boxes have these designs on them. So I totally changed. So what you're seeing underneath is a Kleenex box, and all of it, the designs and the colors of the Kleenex box that are reflected back into the light and to the bottom of the dish.
And
Yeah,
how
that's
did
pretty
you
cool.
light it? How did you light it then?
That's with a strobe, camera strobe.
Okay. Just overhead, straight on, side?
No. So the dish has to be off the, you know, above, and then I've got I'm lighting from the side into, pointing the light at the Kleenex box
Oh, okay.
from the side underneath.
Okay. Cool.
Anyway, it was a fun project. It was something I would have never done if we hadn't had this assignment. I just had a good time doing it.
Well, that's what this project is all about. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. The next one was NYC in the Clouds, and that was by Susan Langer, but I don't see that Susan Langer is here.
Didn't
I
see
just-
her in the list. No.
Okay. Next one is called Wildflower Images by Michael Rhino.
Yes. Yeah. So I guess mine probably wasn't fully anonymous going into it, just in that I had my pre-meeting discussion in that we had beforehand. And so again, as was explained in the description in that kind of I actually filled in for somebody else to do the as an instructor at the Crested Butte Wildflower Festival. And to be honest, I had not done a lot of other than just, you know, kind of local stuff in that. I had never specifically gone out on a big trip to do natural wildflowers out in the mountains and that, other than just kind of random trips, but never anything that was my target. So I thought I better practice a little bit. So this one, just kind of going through image by image. I did some of them up in Boulder that didn't make it into here, just timing wise. I had to get my stuff together here pretty quickly when I got back. But this one was out in Morrison. I think a couple of us were out with Jeff Johnson when I mentioned at one of our Lone Tree meetings and that he kind of does this poppy deal out in Morrison. And so this was just a shot at sunset of the field with the clouds and that in the background. Some of these other ones are from actually during the Wildflower Festival. We gave away a trip. We had one evening that we didn't have anything scheduled in that, so they had a raffle for the actual Crested Butte Wildflower Festival. So we contributed a private outing for whoever won the raffle, and it just happened that this couple won the raffle, and they were available the evening that we had available. So we took them out to various locations in that. But I just while we were walking around, I took a photo of them out in one of the fields. They're actually standing on the trail, but I was able to get an angle where I could put flowers in between me and them. So before the festival, there was this guy. He reached out and said that he was planning on getting engaged and proposing during the event. So we arranged it, and so I got ready with the camera and that, and took some photos of that, of the proposal and the engagement.
She accepted.
Surprised?
Yeah, she said yes. Yeah, that would have been a rough one had it gone the other way. I was experimenting a bit with a Lensbaby. Tough to get anything in focus with that Lensbaby Velvet 85, but this is just kind of gives a soft feel, and I threw a texture background into it.
It's pretty.
This was one of the evenings out there, Mount Crested Butte in the background, so kind of sunset shot, lupin in the foreground, some other yellow flowers. What I'm sharing here is just some of the places that we went to with some of the classes that we were instructing.
That's beautiful.
Stacking?
Oh, thanks.
Michael, did you do focus stacking?
You know what? Great question. I did some focus stacking on some of them. Interestingly, this one I didn't, but I went like I think 18 or something like that. Focus.
Oh, okay.
But great question. I did some focus stacking on some other ones, but this one here was single image.
It's very pretty.
Oh,
Yes.
thanks.
Now I like this.
So this was one of the mornings up at, it's called Washington Gulch, part of the mountains back there. And so we happened to be back there, and there were a couple deer that walked through, and I kind of followed it around and was at the same time giving instructions to some of the others in that, as far as positioning and trying to get wait for them to get into the prettier environments in that. And fortunately, this one went into an area that had multicolor flowers.
You were pretty lucky there.
Yeah, it's
That was,
gorgeous.
thank you.
That's a beautiful one.
And so this one, there's a few wildflowers in the foreground, not a whole lot up at this, but this was, I think I mentioned in the pre-deal that 11,300 feet where I got a flat tire. Here's one of the here's one of the images that was at sunset up at that, getting the reflection. I understand that I know that yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Beautiful colors.
Thanks. And this one here, I was just trying to get a morning. We took the group up to this location and that, and so just trying to get a little bit of that sort of an S curve out of the road with a morning shot, and having the flowers in the foreground.
Nice.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right, we have a tie in this group.
Wait a minute. We need to do Dave's.
Well, no, we have a tie
Oh.
in the advance. In the advance,
Oh,
and we have a tie in the
okay.
beginner intermediate. So, Carino, you are the honorary judge, tiebreaker. So, in the advance, for second place, the tie is between kitchen project or kitchen items and the wildflower images. So, you put on your judge hat and pick us the second place winner, if you would, please.
I'm going to step in and make it the kitchen tool, since mine wasn't really totally anonymous to anyways in that. So if I can help Carino with that, I want to give it to the kitchen tool set.
That's not what I was going to say.
I thought that was real clever. He probably was going to say that anyway. Yeah.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, I like that, the deer and the flowers. I'm picking the flowers.
Oh,
Okay.
that's gorgeous.
Beautiful deer. Yeah, that's beautiful.
So Michael, you've disqualified.
Yeah.
yourself?
I want to give it to the kitchen tool set. I thought that was real creative. And like I said, since mine wasn't totally anonymous going into it. I want to make it, and I thought the kitchen ones were amazing.
Okay. Well, and then in the beginner intermediate, I forgot to throw this out there. Carino, we had a tie between the vacation textures and main event. Do you need to see the images again, or
Yeah, if we just go back to just real quick, I got one of them I remembered.
which one do you need to see? Oh, go ahead,
The
Jane. Jane, go ahead and show the
beginner,
textures.
yeah.
Okay,
The textures I know. What was the other one?
The main event with the moose, with
Yeah,
Tamara.
the main event.
Is that the one you want to pick?
Oh, no, what was the other one before that?
The
The
vacation textures.
vacation textures. Yeah, that one.
That's your pick?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's third place. Okay, go on to, and then the pro category, we have a tie in all groups, all sizes. So,
we'll let Dave talk about his. How's that?
yeah, it's all a tie.
Yeah, I came out last in this one. So I just love Blue Hour. In fact, if I take Christmas lights, I always try to do Christmas lights in blue hours before it gets to black, because it's a really cool balance between, foreground and the sky, and then inside lights are all the same ambient temperature, so you don't have to do anything special to boost up one over the other. And the blue is always really cool. I don't know if on your screens that you thought your projects were a little undersaturated, but all of these that I have here feel a little bit undersaturated. But this is the Denver Pavilions, like a shopping area. I took out the word pavilions on the bottom and just left the Denver. And you have to take it at such a weird angle that it skews both ways. So then I kind of focused a little bit on the D. But yeah, this I found iconic buildings in Denver that fortunately were lit up, especially when you get a little bit of a long exposure. This is the, I'm sorry?
Is this long exposure?
Before we
These
move
are
on to
all,
this, yeah.
these are all a little bit long exposures. Yes, you can see streaking lights going by on the
Yeah.
bottom right-hand side. These are probably all at about 30 seconds or so. And the light from whatever is highlighted, it soaks in a little bit. The one weird thing about this particular one, there is a sculpture here that's called I think National Velvet or something, and it just looks like a pile of beans or human intestines or something, and that had to go. So that was an AI. I got rid of that in the middle of this photo, but I love the way that the Highland pedestrian bridge kind of frames that apartment complex over there. And obviously I'm using like F22 to get the stars as well, and it helped with the long exposure. So
Nice.
Whereabouts is this now?
So this is over I-25. If you actually take 16th Street and project it, it ends, somewhere near Union Station, 16th Street Mall. It just ends kind of. But this is the extension of the 16th Street, and it goes over I-25 and ends you up into the Highland area, and so just about a block to the right is the Little Man Ice Cream. So this is one of two photos that allowed me to eat ice cream. So it was well worth it. This is an old building downtown. It used to be the Gas and Electric building. It's like 15th and Champa, I want to say.
Yeah, somewhere in there, yeah.
It's in the middle of the summer almost, and they still have the red and green lights from Christmas up there. So they don't change them very often, but it's not what you're really noticing. I took a lot of photos of this trying to get either the cars or the buses to go by. So I actually ended up trying a lot of timing because there's a traffic light here. And so I've found that if I've off to the left of this photo, if there was a lot of buses and cars piling up, I would wait and then hit the shutter button, and they were going so slow that they would slowly go by me and leave much better straight streaks than when I just had the camera, open just normally. So I purposely waited for the light to just turn green and the cars and buses to slowly go by.
Cool.
Really like that one.
Wow.
This is, of course, Ball Arena. There's a little bit of a story here. I don't have a drone, so I had to take this photo from the parking garage at Auraria campus. And the parking garage has all this wire netting up that, so you're forced to take this from either end of this parking garage. And I thought I could get away with not paying the parking because it was like, $25 because there was an event going on at the arena. And by the way, that's the only time that they light up Ball Arena is during an event. For Nuggets, it's obviously blue and gold. For Avs game, it's maroon and blue. And this was a Pavarotti concert or something. And I was wondering if what color they were going to do. So I called the lighting person and said, what color are you doing? And she goes, I think it's going to be purple. And I said, great. At any rate, the left-hand side of this building, I had to actually AI generate because the way like I said, the parking garage blocks this. You could see a little bit on the left, or you could see a little bit on the right. I'm actually on the parking garage on the very right-hand side because it exposed all the way to where those green signs are. And then that last little bit of the building is actually not Ball Arena, but I kind of got away with it with a little bit of an AI thing. Of course, again, this is long exposure. You can see the cars going by on Auraria. But I just love the way you can look into these buildings. I mean, it's so cool that at ambient, the ambient light inside is matching the ambient light outside, or the inside lights are matching the ambient light on the outside. It's just so cool.
So did you pay for parking or not?
They gave me a nice email that said I owed them $30 for this photo.
What?
Of course, this is Casa Bonita, and I really desaturated this because you cannot believe how screamingly pink this building was. I actually went here 3 times, and every single time there was a bit of a cloud cover, and it was reflecting the blue for blue hour, but this is the only time you can see like the dappled clouds during the blue hour. And this was one of the hardest ones to get, not only because I had to show up 3 times, and I did have to bracket this one because the lights themselves that line the outer edges of the tower were so bright that it just blew things out. But people stand here in front of that fountain for seemingly hours, and like you can see it's 9 o'clock, and I was really worried. They turned all the lights off just about at 9 o'clock because I was actually here 4 times. One, I had gotten there right about 10 after 9 or just after they shut the whole thing down. So I had to call the people at Casa Bonita and say, hey, what time are you lighting this thing? So at any rate, if you go here, it's you have to get reservations to get in. And you just cannot believe how pink this building is these days.
So how'd you get it free of people?
Well, I finally, people were finally leaving. There was actually 3 people in this photo that I AI removed that were sitting on the fountain.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I said, just trying to find iconic places. I love the Bluebird Theater. I knew this was going to be one of my photos. And there, I was lucky that they had a concert, so we had some people outside and you could get a little bit of, it wasn't just a boring picture of the outside, and the Bluebird and the Mayan and the Paramount theaters. I got pictures of all those, but this is the one I used. They only light these again during an event. So I had to make sure on my calendar that I wrote down when there was events being there. Because if you just show up during the middle of the, like tonight might not be a concert or a movie or whatever. So you have to kind of time yourself. And this must have been a popular person. I don't know who this Merculus Ryan Oakes is, but I like the little movement of the people. It showed like a little bit of a energy level too.
Surprising to me how much better I think it is because you included that street lamp up above.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And again, almost all these are at f/22, so trying to get that star pattern on the lights that are there.
Right.
Ice cream.
Oh, here's the other ice cream. And I took a number of shots of this from across the street that kind of looked much different. This had a little bit more dynamic movement to it if you stood right in the front. And I had the cookies and cream here, so it was very, very well received. And this is another one of those that shuts down right at 9 o'clock. They turn off all the lights. So the first time I was here, I was there I got like one photo in from across the street off to the left. It's like I said, it's a totally different look and feel, but I'm like, I got one photo in and I was adjusting my settings and the lights went out. And I'm like, what? Which is really disappointing because they're closing the doors too, and I couldn't get ice cream.
Bummer.
Should have paid your electric bill.
Yeah, yeah.
So did any of the people object to you taking pictures?
No,
Okay.
not really. And since I'm only in one spot in this, this one I actually took from across the street. I thought that was going to be the photo. So I was there for maybe 10 minutes taking the photo. And I thought, well, I'm going to walk in and get ice cream. And I went, oh, shoot, this is a better shot. This is like right underneath the street lamp. I'm like backed up against the walk signs and things like that. And so this is actually one of only 2 photos I took here. And then I took the camera inside and had an ice cream.
I
Very
really like
good.
the angle of it.
Yeah.
This is
Where is this?
so this is Meow Wolf. And
Oh,
I just, they built this building in between the highway. It's like,
Hmm.
Like, I don't know, is it Colfax is the viaduct and I-25 right there, and it's jammed in the middle. If
yeah.
you see this, if it's a little more saturated, it's really, really cool. And this building, it just changes from yellow to green to red to purple to blue. And you can see the different colors around the outside. But since I'm on a exposure that's maybe 10 or 15 seconds, it kind of blends the color in. And surprisingly, there was like 3 or 4 different mixes of color. I liked the purple the best, which was a kind of a combination of the purple with the red with the blue. And yeah, I just love the natural framing of the highway, the way it's jammed in here. So
Good eye. Good eye on that.
Mm-hmm.
so at any rate, those are my photos.
That's it.
Very good.
Those are
good.
fantastic. I was going to wait till you were finished. I was jumped in earlier in that, but I love the effects that you're getting there during the blue hour against all of those buildings that have the lights, whether it be purple, pink, all the different colors and so forth. all of them work so well against that blue hour. And to the point that you brought up earlier on that, much different and in my mind, better than it would be if you waited 10 minutes later and let those the blue tones come out, and probably better also even than golden hour that would have been 5 or 10 minutes before that. It really came out nice.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
So you didn't use a neutral density filter at all to slow it down or
Nope,
no?
not at all. In fact, I was trying, I got there early, sunset is, right about now-ish. So you have right between like 8:30 and 9 o'clock to start taking these photos. And the ones that are closer to 8:30, even if I underexpose to try to see if the sky would turn bluer, or well, the same effect of putting like a neutral density filter, it just the colors weren't as rich. The sky wasn't as blue. So
Huh.
you almost had to wait to just before it started to turn really black out, before the richness of the sky matched the colors on the lit buildings.
And you mentioned that as far as exposure, length of exposure, and so forth, not needing to use neutral density filters, and the fact that you're going like f22, and you can take that, the settings where you can naturally at that time of night you can get a pretty long exposure without any use of ND
Yeah.
filters. And that. Just taking the ISO,
Yeah.
probably taking the ISO way down too.
The only exception was the Meow Wolf building because, like I said, it was changing color. It just kind of goes around in a circle. And I was trying to get as much of one color as possible.
Mhm.
So those were a little bit shorter exposures.
Sure.
But there were no car lights going by or anything, so it really didn't matter. So
Yeah.
Beautiful job, Dale, on the colors. Just they're
Yeah.
beautiful.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Love it.
We
All
need to
right.
get downtown and do a blue hour thing,
Yeah.
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 The thing is you were able to hit all these different places, so obviously all different nights, because the blue hour, you have to get into a spot where maybe you could get 1, 2, or 3 real quick move from place to place to place. You don't
Yeah.
have that long to, but obviously we can get as a group other ones before blue hour and a few of them after, but just make sure that the timing of whatever the iconic place that we plan on getting is in that
Yeah.
little minute window that we have.
Yeah, we could do some photos like down the mall,
Right.
and then make sure that we just have one location that we want to take during the blue hour. So,
Right.
you
Sounds
you
like
could
we're-
almost do the Denver Pavilion sign and the gas and electric. They're not too far away, but like I said, the best photos, unfortunately, are always right at the end of the blue hour before it turns really dark. But
So how long did it take you? How many weeks did this take you to do?
I did it all in about 10 days.
Wow.
Unfortunately, my wife was out of town, so she didn't mind it. I was going out every night. I just went out every night. That's
Good.
And for the ones that were downtown, I always had a friend with me because, I wanted somebody to watch my back during, you're there at night. It's always a little safer to have somebody helping there and watching. So
Good idea.
For sure.
First stop should be Bonnie Bray, though.
oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's and you can get a bunch of different angles and even across the street.
And flavors.
Yeah, you could go in, get your ice cream, and then sit around and decide, what's the ideal shot for me, and then take a shot, then go in and get another milkshake or something. And then,
That's right.
Uh,
Sounds like this would cause us a lot of weight gain.
like I said, I didn't plan well for Casa Bonita. Otherwise, I would have got some Mexican food in at the same time. But
Yeah, you have to plan like 6 months out for that one. Anyway, so I've got the results. I've got the sealed envelope here I'm going to open. In the beginner intermediate, first place was Naughty Trees. Second place was Vacation Textures.
Just say their name. Who's here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Naughty Trees by Carolyn Ryman. Vacation Textures by Ray. Sorry. Let me get to my sheet. My other sheet. A lot of sheets here. And where did it go? Bear with me. That's the wrong sheet. So then second place was Vacation Textures. Where is it? There it is, with Ray Johnson. Third place was Main Event by Tamara Ripley. Then on the advance, first place was Susan Langer with New York City in the Clouds. Second place was Kitchen Items by Bruce Norman. And third place was A Day in the Life of a Balloon by Bruce Ryman, and that was by default because Michael pulled out. We were close. And then in the pro, first, second, third, honorable mention, and overall top prize went to Dave Purcell.
Yay.
We gotta start giving Chuck and Darren and whatever, a rash of shit for not entering their stuff.
Exactly.
Well, there's Carino and I talked about it. We think we're just going to go pro because we got a pretty good shot of winning almost something every time.
Yeah.
That is
Every time.
really good observation.
It could be our ticket to the next level, although we don't get anything, but it'd be fun.
Yeah. How many trophies do we want to accumulate?
And now that Michael is teaching workshops, he's expected to jump up next year into that division.
So do we need like a super duper pro or something like that?
Yeah.
Pro Plus.
Pro Plus. There you go.
Well, guys, I think these were some awesome projects, really well thought out.
Yeah, there were some real
Yeah.
clever ones in there. In that, I mean, you could see the thought. Bruce Ryman, your the one with the balloon. I think the story on that was fantastic. And the
Yeah.
one with the chair in all those different locations and that, I thought that was really well thought out too. Jeff
Yeah, I
Scott.
hope you'll bring that chair into the next meeting and sit in that thing.
But again, just the creative. I mean, that thing was all the way down to the paint mines, and it was cemetery. I mean, just all the different locations were, I thought, really clever.
Yeah, that was like mine, where it took a lot of time to make all those locations. That's some effort there. So
I think next time bring a lawn chair, not a heavy metal chair.
A miniature one.
Yeah, small ones.
And on Vacation Textures, it sure rained a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was a wet vacation?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my wife wants a sunny vacation now.
Yeah, there you go.
It was amazing. Once we left Montreal, it didn't get sunny until we got back to Maine.
Oh, wow.
So,
By the way-
not very good. Not very good
Yeah.
advert for the Canadians.
yeah. By the way, I see Tony's on here now. Hey, Tony, you want to just say something real quick about your project? I mean, it was pretty interesting that you took all those photos and that the neighborhood kind of built up that quickly.
Right.
And you were the one that got a drone out there, so it's kind of really cool and unusual. So
Yeah, it was. I actually did 3 projects, and this was the one I turned in, because it showed the most change over an 8-week period, from homes not even dug in yet to under roof by the time the project was ended.
yeah,
Same
you
for homes.
really required to spread it out.
Yeah. It was, these are the four in the middle were the main ones, but in the back row you've got 2, and then as this project develops, you will see to the right of the one with the wood siding, you will see more lots. This one, you see the bottom lot new, and the one across the street, concreted. Keep going. And then walls on the bottom right, or concrete foundation, wooden walls, new basement being dug, and Tyvek on the, and shingles on the back too. So it's a constant change every week.
What I thought was interesting, maybe it's in the next one, that really dark roofed house. Somebody put in like a putting green, I think, in one of those.
It's a bocce court.
Oh, bocce.
Yeah, bocce ball.
I don't know.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
bocce ball court.
you can see, and then actually in the next one might actually be green.
Greened, yeah.
Yeah, it's
But you
crazy.
see the on the last one, you saw the flooring on the one on the right. Now it's all framed,
Right.
roofed across the street.
Yeah,
So it was just a way of capturing what's going on, how rapidly
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
area.
There's
I've
the
got
bocce
a
court.
pano of this next, just to the south of this is the area as it always has been with multi-acre lots, mini farms. And across the street, you've got the density of this. It's insanely different.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a cool project too.
Yeah.
So.
Boy,
Yeah.
they build those houses close together, don't they?
Boy, they do. And I had a landscape architect, my wife's nephew is a landscape architect in Kansas. And he commented on the pictures and said, people today don't want to do the yard work. They prefer public green spaces and trails and just more time to play and less to maintain.
Yeah, good point.
So
I like that.
Yeah, I'll vote for that.
It's fun when you're in your 20s and 30s.
yeah, this was also a good opportunity to work with the drone.
Yeah.
And practice different techniques, freeform circles, etc.
Yeah, nice.
So I had fun doing it.
Yeah.
So is that a bike trail there?
It's bike trail, walking path that backs to Chatfield,
Oh, okay. Okay.
but that trail is also part of the Solstice development.
Oh, okay.
That is not in Chatfield. Chatfield's behind it.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll give everybody a little bit of time back for the week and try to stay dry.
Yeah,
All right.
two people here, like Jane. Thank you, Jane, for getting all these
Yep.
photos
Yep.
put together.
Okay,
Oh,
good night, everyone.
All right.
Good
Good night,
night.
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.